Hi, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling in there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges Ablaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola amigos, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hi, this is Jim Valance.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Lebo Leone.
This is Nothing from Inside the Trojan Horse.
What's up guys, Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
My name's Reggie, and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
It's time once again for the Weekly Pour, the show that knows everything about absolutely nothing. Here are your hosts, TbT and Ace.
Welcome to episode 174 of the Weekly Pour podcast. I am TbT. That guy over there is Ace. Appreciate you joining us. It is Wednesday, March the 18th. 2026. You are fresh from something we'll get into here shortly. You can literally, well, you may not be fresh, but I mean, you can look at your shirt, see what the first thing we're going to be talking about tonight is. You've got a lot of good stuff to talk about with that. We've also got some stuff coming in. We've got some new stuff coming from Tesla. We've got some news on Billy Idol. We've got stuff on Cactus. If any of you guys remember who Cactus was, they were once known, and I'll say this again later, once known as the American Led Zeppelin when they came out in the 70s. We'll get into that a little bit more. And yes, of course, we have Kiss news. Nothing from Skid Row, nothing from Sebastian Bach. I don't know how this episode's going to do, but whatever. Anyway, we want to welcome everybody that's in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. And be sure to hit that subscribe button because, you know, that helps us out. And if you want to help us out a little bit more, then go over to whatever platform you listen to this on and leave us a review. Only if it's 5 stars. You could do 4. I mean,
I'll take 4.
Yeah, a 4 is okay. Just don't go any lower than 4 because, no, it's not worth it. I want to talk about something that we talk about a lot on here because we're guys. It's what we do. We talk about stuff that guys talk about, mowing yards, all that fun stuff.
Our lawns.
Yeah. Pools, all that fun stuff. I want to talk about the absolute ridiculous weather that we have had over the course of the last 4 days. Starting with Saturday, maybe Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. 70 degrees. Beautiful. Right? Absolutely beautiful. Only to get turned around and wake up Monday. I might have my days mixed up. I just remember driving to work. I just remember sliding to work on Monday. Yeah, I did not drive. Right. I slid because we had at least a 1/4 inch of snow. Overnight, from Sunday to Monday, it continued on Monday. There was ice. It was ridiculous. And and one more thing. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Sunday, it's going to be 80 degrees.
80. Right. And Friday is 70.
I'm done. I say it every week. I'm done.
I got angry, I think, Tuesday morning. Because we had to actually scrape off windshields and brush off cars.
Yes.
And in the morning, and to me, it's like we're used to bipolar weather in Indiana, but
sure.
this is off the meds bipolar.
Yeah.
You know, it's insane, and it's getting old. We've had tornadoes way too early.
There was that too. I forgot to mention that.
The last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Somewhere, everywhere, all the time. It's ridiculous, and it was a little better today in the afternoon.
Yeah,
but I'm over it. Like you, I'm over it.
It's a guy thing. We say it was a little bit better this afternoon. It was only in the 50s, like 51, 52.
That's still nice.
It's still better than 16. It was 16 when I left Monday morning.
We ran a fire in the house 2 straight days. 2 straight days had a fire.
Yeah. I ran my heat on like microwave.
I mean, not a fire in like a wood stove. Like we were throwing furniture into a pile with kindling and lighting it up. It was so cold.
Exactly. You thought you had a pool that has now turned into a fire.
Right, a big bonfire.
Yeah. And I was contemplating today. I was like, man, it's only 50, 51 degrees. I'm tired of wearing sweatshirts, doing the podcast. I'm in the house. I don't want to do that.
Right.
And I said, you know what? I'm not doing it today. So I'm not. T-shirt it is.
Freezing. You're freezing.
I am. My nipples are hard.
You know what I miss from like a year ago?
My nipples.
That you used to do in the winter with your lumberjack outfits, with your flannel and your flappy hat, and yeah, I miss those.
I'm sorry. I should have done that today, actually, just as like a commemorative goodbye to winter, because I'm going to call it now, and I'm just going to say we're done. There was a meme that came out the other day. I'm going to show it because I had to send this to the wife because I thought it was funny. If you're not watching this and you can only read it, it's a picture that says this weather confuses my nipples. And if that doesn't put it all into one big bubble, I don't know what does. Because that brings
What's interesting is that Friday is the first day of spring and it's going to be 70 degrees. It's like we couldn't ease into it. We have to hit the brakes, at a stoplight where it turned red 3 feet from the, line that you land on, and then we can go into spring.
It's ridiculous.
Of course, where we're at, people don't stop at stoplights; they just drive through them. So
yeah, it's a suggestion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Prudent. Use prudence.
Right. I was actually surprised driving in Monday because I'm an early driver. I'm out on those roads early. I was surprised that I didn't see more wrecks than I did. It wasn't until I got to my work location where there were 4 slide offs.
Yep.
And I'm like, you guys are dumb.
We had that I was aware of on my way into work, 2 in separate spots of the same road, just a few feet apart, but separate incidents.
Got to be a hill.
It was.
Right.
It was.
And see where my location is, it's flat all the way.
You can see for miles.
Yeah.
But still it's going to get you.
Doesn't matter because, when it's a straightaway, that means you can go fast. When it's snowing and I got all-wheel drive, it's okay.
Be careful out there, people.
Please do. Yeah. I mean, you don't really have to now that it's still 52. But still, don't be stupid. There we go. There's our public service announcement for this week. When you're driving, don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid.
Because then you'll end up having to get a new vehicle and the dealer is not going to put gas in it because the gas is too expensive.
Oh my.
So then you're gonna be screwed twice, 2 times screwed.
$75 today to fill up my SUV.
And that was at a half a tank.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It was because of those gas prices that I'm surprised you made your trip yesterday.
Oh, well, we drove a hybrid.
Perfect. Did you plug it in before going?
No, it's not electric. It's a hybrid.
Same difference?
No. Hybrids use gas. But we put 5 gallons in it and made it to
$73.
Indianapolis and back with gas to spare. Yes, I love the hybrids. Hybrids are the way to go. Get on my soapbox for a minute. Abandon electric vehicles because we all think it's ridiculous to plug your car in, and it's time consuming. There's all kinds of problems.
Right.
Not enough stations to plug into. Hybrid is the way to go because it's battery powered, but it's also a gas engine as well. So I mean, the one I wrecked a while back when I hit the deer, That got at times 50 miles to the gallon. At times, it's well worth the money.
Absolutely not.
Oh, they're great. You should get one.
No, not doing it. I'll stick to my gas guzzler.
It doesn't hurt your masculinity to save money on gas.
True, absolutely does not. However, it hurts my knees.
Why?
Getting into those tiny things.
This is a full-size car.
Well, the same difference, right? I don't know. What is it
These
called?
are
What is it?
full-size cars.
Like, what is the vehicle?
The one we drove yesterday was a Ford Fusion hybrid.
That's why.
It's a great car. I'd buy 10 of them.
At the same time?
No.
Oh.
When this one breaks down. Not that it's going to break down. If my daughter's listening, she'll have a panic attack.
Yeah, way to go.
It's her car.
And that's the show for tonight because Ace has got to go make a phone call.
Right.
Yeah. But let's jump right into that. Let's talk about your trip yesterday. Obviously, if you're looking at the front of Ace's shirt, you can see that he is wearing a Journey shirt. Journey, who was just in Indianapolis last night at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Ace, of course, went, as he just mentioned, with his daughter to Indianapolis to see the show. And one thing I did is I texted you and said, hey, we're definitely going to talk about it. And you responded with, you had a lot to say. Now, before you dive in, I pulled up, and I haven't asked you about this, but I pulled up I got to find it. I pulled up the set list, allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly, because you're going to be the one to be able to confirm or deny this. But when I read this, 27 songs were on this list, and it blew my mind because we've talked about that before. How, you'll go to a concert, you may get 7 or 8, 9, 12, 14 songs. And it's highly unheard of to get nearly 30. As a matter of fact, I think it was a Sammy Hagar concert. We talked about the amount of songs that they just cranked out, just on and on and on. This is 27 songs, including a drum solo. I don't know if there was a guitar solo as well from Neil Sean. A piano solo from Jonathan Cain.
I'll get to that.
So 27 tracks. We'll call them, well, screw it. We'll call them songs. 27 songs. Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Ace with his daughter, Little Ace. I'm all ears.
And you have to understand, you do understand, Journey has a ton of not just hits, but music over 50 years. Tons of stuff to cover. And what I liked was this wasn't a greatest hits type of tour, which they've done the greatest hits thing for 20 years at least now.
Right.
And this was more a celebration. They call it an evening with. But speaking of my shirt, I want to say I bought this out front of the venue from a nice man on the street for $10. He wanted 20, but we were able to get 10.
You haggled the guy outside?
Right, with his stack of shirts. He offered. He's the one that offered.
Oh.
And I'm like, because I pulled out my wad of cash. I didn't have 20. I said, I don't have 20. I'll take 10.
I don't have 20, but here's my wad.
Yeah, here's my wad. It's ones.
Oh.
It's the stripper roll.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to ask.
So he gets my $10. I got a cool shirt. I need to find out how they replicate these shirts before the tour starts, so they know what they look like.
It's the same people that call you and tell you that your car warranty's about out, and they want you to buy a new one.
Well, I mean, they must have an inside man. I don't know how they do it, but it's cool.
Is there print on the back as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got the cities and all that.
Yeah. Are they spelled correctly?
I haven't looked, but
probably not. It's 2024.
I hope not. That's what I told my daughter. I said it probably says 2023 on it or something. It does not.
Okay.
It does not. But they had a huge variety inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse of merch, a ton of different stuff. Some of these shirts were $60. $60
Wow.
for some of these shirts. And I knew I wasn't going to buy one going in. That's why I just said, hey, I'll take a $10 shirt. However anyone feels about that, it's the first time I've done it. About bootleg shirts and things like that, I don't know. But, I thought a cool experience with this man.
Yeah.
You know,
Literally security's inside waiting to see people walk in with that very shirt.
I wondered about that. Like, are they going to say anything because I have this shirt?
Yeah,
But
so you gotta
no
leave.
one cared. No one cared. The as with most concerts that I go to now, the audience was varied in age. You had everything from there was probably a 3-year-old child there with the parents
Tuesday
up
night,
where
no
we were.
babysitter.
Well, that's the beauty too. Tuesday night in Indianapolis, that's the time to go. There's nothing out. If it's 20 degrees on a Tuesday night in Indianapolis, nobody is out. We had zero traffic, zero problems finding parking. The place was not quite sold out, but almost. Set to a nice older couple that had seen Journey. First time they had seen them, it was in the early 80s.
Wow.
And thought, you know what? This is supposed to be the end. We'll go see them again. And it was nice to watch the lady next to me, her reaction, because she was smiling the whole time.
Nice.
And I filled her in on some of the stuff. Obviously, the last time she saw them, Steve Perry was in the band, and they've had three singers since then. We're with Arnell now being there 19 years. But what was really, really cool, you mentioned the 27 tracks.
Right.
First of all, they didn't, as I said, they didn't play just the greatest hits. We got deep tracks. Deep tracks, which you don't normally get when you see a band like Journey.
Sure.
Because they have so many hits to get to. But we got Suzanne was on the list. That's from Raised on Radio. It's the second song on the record, but it's not one you hear a whole lot. That to me was the deepest track. And then Dead or Alive is a deep track, but they do play it quite a bit.
Right.
In their tour. We got older stuff from Evolution. Just the same way. We got what's the one I love so much? Oh, Feeling That Way Anytime. But those songs were sang by, those are duets. Those were set up as duets between Greg Raleigh and Steve Perry on the recording.
Right.
Jonathan Cain sang the Greg Raleigh part, and we got the great Dean Castronovo on drums and singing the Steve Perry parts, and he is so good.
Yeah.
I think he's the best singer in the band. And doing Steve Perry parts while he's drumming, to that stuff. We got to see Dean about 3 or 4 songs. Because here's the thing, Arnell Pineda, excuse
Panera.
me. There's been all sorts of talk for probably 5 years now about him having vocal troubles,
Right.
not being able to sing, like he used to, and things like that. The man's 58 years old, trying to sing Steve Perry material, which Steve Perry did in his prime when he walked away, right? He was in his prime at probably
exactly.
31, 32 years old. So what Journey did here was they gave Arnell room to breathe. So we let Dean sing 3 or 4 songs. They had brought along an extra keyboard player, a guy named Jason Durlacta,
Bless you.
who himself sang 2 songs. And all 3 of these guys have the range to sing these Steve Perry parts. It's amazing. There's nuances to their style. There's differences to their style. One's more of a classic. Pineda sounds more a classic Perry. Dean, I think, is more of a pure Steve Perry sound-alike. But what I like about Arnell is that he doesn't imitate Steve like he used to.
Right.
He puts himself into it.
And there were a lot of people that had issues with that.
Right. Because you're going there and you're hearing a clone.
Basically.
And some people think it's great. Some people think you're just imitating. he's got a lot more talent than that. So we didn't. But what was really cool was when they hit the big songs at the end. He flipped a switch and put that Steve Perry vibe into everything he did, running around the stage like a madman. He had all kinds of energy because there was at one point he took 4 songs off, 4 songs in a row, over playing the tambourine while every other people were doing the heavy lifting. But it was just amazing how they were able to take these 3 guys and still make it sound like Journey. So I appreciated that. You mentioned the piano solo. Jonathan Cain stayed on a large grand piano off to one side of the stage, where typically he would have a keyboard set up. And as I said, they had a keyboard player, Jason Derlatka, on the other side. So Cain stayed pretty much on that piano, and he played a beautiful classical style piece as an interlude that led into Lights. I think that's what it said, what it was. No, I may be wrong. It led into Who's Crying Now. I'm sorry. And it was how often do you see a piano solo at a rock concert?
I can think of one other, and that was Tom Kiefer.
Right before Don't Know What You Got.
Yeah, but I mean, you get snippets. I mean, there's been some. I think Tommy Lee's done it before. Before doing Home Sweet Home, just a little here and there. And I'll tell you this too, Bad English. If you ever got to see them, of course, Jonathan Cain was in Bad English.
He was,
and you got him there. But like you said, it's not something that you have all the time. Nobody wants to go to a metal or a rock concert piano solo, but surprisingly enough, much like what you're talking about now, it's one of the most badass things because you're jamming and your guitars and your drums and all the vocals, and then it's Mr. Piano Man. So I think it's awesome when you get to see just kind of like a little different taste. And in Journey's case with Jonathan Cain, it's perfect.
Which again, that piano solo was another break for Arnell to take. And these were important because he was able to deliver pitch perfect performances on the songs that he did. And he sang plenty of them. Don't get me wrong. We're talking 6 songs he didn't sing out of these 27, instances. He wasn't in the middle of it for 6 songs. Yeah. But the piano interlude led right into Who's Crying Now. It was really, really well done. Extended plays. We got outros. At one point, they had some technical difficulties.
I think like we just did, because I think we just had a little bit of technical difficulty and froze there for a second, but we're good now.
Yeah, I saw that. I kept checking my Wi-Fi. I'm like, I'm good. But they had some technical difficulties where it sounded like the crash of a drum set where things just fell down, cymbals crashing, blah, 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 blah. And Neil stops and says, "Whoa, what the fuck was that?"
Oh,
and then he's like touching his ear monitor, and he looks at Dean and says, "You'll have to take the click track, or the click track's gone. You'll have to count off every song."
Oh wow!
So there's no click track, and Dean has to take over. Of course, he's a pro.
Well, and real quick, explain what a click track is for those that are probably thinking, "Oh, they're using backing tracks."
Typically, a click track is used to keep a band in time. So where the drummer would count off something 1, 2, 3, 4 to begin the song, everyone that has in-ear monitors, which they use now in every concert venue that I know of, would have a click track in that monitor.
Yep.
And it keeps them in time. Everyone's synchronized. So you always know what 1, 2, 3, 4, what those beats are.
Yeah.
So it's just a tool to keep everyone in sync. It's not cheating. It's not backing tracks, anything like that. And that's interesting you bring that up because I saw a video just a week ago where someone that does kind of like what we do was saying that Neil had been caught caught using a backing track to fill out his guitar sound or something. And I'm thinking, I don't know why he would need that. He's so good.
Right.
So this setup was video monitors. You know how a lot of times you have the modern setup of video playing behind the band that is synchronized to the music. This was the full video setup. So you're seeing the guitar player, you're seeing the singer. I'm looking at the video monitor, watching Neil as they do close-ups on his hands. He's playing full-on guitar. I didn't see any evidence of backing tracks, sync tracks, lip syncing. I think it's all bogus. Neil's fine. He's amazing. But yeah, we got a lot of those extended plays. We got guitar solos from him. And I'll tell you how I knew for sure that Arnell was singing totally live. Are you familiar with the tail end of Faithfully where Steve Perry hits that big note on
absolutely
that last Faithfully? Arnell bailed the fuck out on that.
I'm out.
Yeah, he started and then went way down because it wasn't there. And I looked at my daughter and he bailed on that one. But that's cool. That's fine. It's live. It sounded amazing. But the reason I bring up the background that was so cool was that this set list that we got was a different set list than what they had been playing in previous shows.
Oh.
So they shook it up because we were looking at the set list sitting in our seats. Okay, we're going to get this. We didn't get that. We got a whole different thing.
Wow.
Just shaking up the order, throwing in a couple other songs. And I do think, there's songs they left on the table that they could have played.
Of course.
But it's fine because I got to hear some of the other older stuff. They didn't play Girl Can't Help It from Raised on Radio. They didn't play that. But they did play Suzanne. They played, of course, Be Good to Yourself, which was the opener. They played When You Love a Woman, of course. I believe that is, I don't know if that was from Trial by Fire or not. But either way, we got some cool stuff. It was not... I'll tell you something else that's funny, because the diversity of the crowd and people older than I even... It's like Journey, yeah. It's like Journey knows their audience because they got on stage promptly about 7:35, something like that. Which no opener, just Journey, no opener, and as you get older, you're aware sometimes that maybe you ought to take care of some things, like your hearing.
What?
Exactly. And I wanted to try these. I've got some really, really cool digital Bluetooth noise reduction earbuds that I use at the range. So I wanted to try them at the concert because if it's going to be loud, maybe this will help bring down the decibels a little bit, and I'll be able to not have tendonitis when I leave, right?
What did you say? Tendonitis?
Tendonitis.
What?
The ringing in your ears that's constant all the time,
Yes.
Which I have. I didn't need them at all because the decibel was at a very comfortable level. It was very comfortable.
I don't know if I'm shocked or maybe it's because your hearing is bad enough to where you just didn't notice.
No, we both agreed that my daughter and I that we were carrying on a conversation very easily. Now we were up on the side a bit, so the sound is not right in front of us. But it kind of cracked me up. It's like they're taking care of us because they know that everyone there either is very young or very old or or something like that. So get this. When have you been to a rock concert that started at about 7:30 and ended at 10?
I can't say I have.
I've always dreamed of a rock concert ending at about 10 o'clock because I hate getting home, leaving it, after 11 and fighting the crowd and all this other stuff. And, you get home so late. I'm like, oh, wow, it's 10 o'clock. That's perfect. It's like they knew, hey, we're old too. We got to get off the stage. It was great.
You've answered two of the questions I had. Number one, I was going to ask you how long was the show, and you just pretty much said it was 3 hours.
Yep.
Are you disappointed that there was no opener?
Oh no, because who would have opened? Think about what they've done in the past. They've paired themselves with a co-headliner, usually Def
Sure.
Leppard, or someone of that stature that they can, pair with. Who would have it been anyway? Right?
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, you go to a show, and I think you'll agree with this. You go to a show, you get an opener, you maybe get two openers, and then you get
Right.
the main course, and you're there till 45 minutes for the first opener, 45 for the next, and then a 3-hour show.
Right, and then the don't forget the exchange in between where they have to tear down and set up.
Yeah, and then the surprise encore that's never a surprise. But
None of that.
Yeah,
no encore.
So you didn't have a point where they no, because those last three songs that came in were immediately after the drum solo, right?
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because what I pull up here is incomplete, but I'll pull up the one you had real quick. And right, so they did the drum solo. Then you got right in a row with Arnell running everywhere, all over the place, separate ways, any way you want it. Don't stop believing.
Yeah, and what a great song to end it with.
Oh, it's perfect. It's the signature song. You kind of have to end with that.
Yeah.
I mean, they played 6 songs from Escape anyway. It's their biggest album, and of course they're going to hit that one pretty heavy. But yeah, no encore. It was just, we know what you want. We're going song, song, song.
Yeah.
Very little banter in between. I don't mind some talk to the crowd, but there was just very little of that. Jonathan Cain handled most of that, except when Neil is yelling at the techs for screwing up things. But
yeah, turn my monitor down.
Right. Well, and that was another thing too. Like sometimes toward the end, they had a little problem with his guitar because I'm waiting on that solo. The verse ends, boom, solo, and I'm waiting for that big note, and it's not there.
Right.
And then you see him adjusting knobs and trying to get that volume cranked up on his guitar a little bit, and then it comes in. And that's the difference. It wasn't he's fucking around trying to figure something out, and you're hearing a guitar track. I'm waiting for the guitar, and it's not there, and that's because he's fucking with it, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But he's a pro again. It took him no time. But
exactly. Was this your daughter's first time seeing Journey?
This would have been her second.
Okay. All right.
And my 5th.
Right. I didn't ask you about yours. I knew that was going to be more than 1 or 2. What was her thoughts?
Oh, she loved it. She had a blast.
Good.
The reason I ended up with tendonitis the next day was because of her singing in my ear the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole time.
Please go to the doctor tomorrow. Go to an urgent care clinic and let them know you have tendonitis in your ear. And please send me a copy of your doctor's note.
And what the diagnosis and remedy are.
Just the remedy. If they put your ear in a splint, then I will believe that it is tendonitis.
Right. Ice pack.
Oh goodness. Well, that's cool. I was worried. I was actually just slightly worried you weren't going to be able to make tonight's show, just from being concert hungover. We've all been there, but knowing that you were home by midnight and tucked away in bed because such an early ending show, yeah, I have no sympathy if you said you were tired.
No, that hit me a little later in the day when I got home from work, and I did end up taking about a 40-minute nap, maybe a little longer, just because.
That's because you're old.
That too,
and you had to rest your tendonitis.
Right, you get that damn ringing out of my ears, but I just think I don't think it was the best version of what I've heard. But it was damn good.
Good.
Ross Valerie's not with him anymore. There's been a lot of Journey always has drama,
right?
But and one of the things I missed was that they had a bass player. I'm not sure if you remember. Randy Jackson was supposed to be on this tour as the bass player for Journey.
Yep.
and whatever happened, and he ended up having to bow out.
There was something I saw not too long ago where he said that it just wasn't for him, dog.
Well, think about the extensive touring schedule, and he's used to a soft TV gig,
Right, that he hasn't done
Right.
in like 10 years.
Right. Well, no, he's doing that Name That Tune song.
Oh, yeah.
Show. He sits and plays the piano, and
Yep. So yeah,
he does
cushy
that.
job.
Right, and you're slapping a bass on him. I don't know if he's played bass. It's he recorded Raised on Radio with him in '87.
Exactly.
I don't know, but let me see. The guy they had, I had his name pulled up. They did not introduce the band, so I kind of had to, guess. But Todd Jensen. Todd Jensen was playing bass, but what I miss is they turned that bass down because some of the cool things about Journey songs, especially on Escape, like Stone in Love and things like that, the bass interplays with Neil Sean's guitar so well, and it's got a separate melody that intertwines with the guitar. And since Ross Valley was not there, they just shut that down.
Yeah, here's something interesting about Todd Jensen. He actually played bass for Ozzy before he was replaced by Geezer Butler. So if you're only going to be with Ozzy for a very short period of time, to be replaced by Geezer Butler, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's still pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
No kidding. For sure.
Yeah, it was a good experience. I enjoyed it a lot. I would recommend going to see them this time around, whether you believe it's the end or not. It's still worth going to see this show because you're getting a lot for your money, and the ticket prices were not unreasonable for once. They weren't terrible,
and neither were the T-shirts, Mr. $10.
Right, $10.
Another, as we move on to fill in the rest of our news with the remaining 25 minutes, another rock idol. We just talked about Journey. We might as well jump into this one too. But another rock idol is giving Vegas a chance. It's almost time to take this podcast and move permanently to Vegas because that's where everybody's going.
Everyone's there. Everyone.
Yeah. Now, Billy Idol has announced that the Hot in the City Summer 2026 Las Vegas residency will take place for 5 nights at the Blue Live Theater inside the Fontainebleau Las Vegas Hotel.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to throw a French accent in there.
Yeah, the Fontainebleau.
Yeah.
It's one of the newer ones in Vegas. It's very nice.
For sure. He joins just an absolute list of bands, solo acts, that country, rock, all of your genres that are just saying, you know what, if this is working for them, we might as well give it a try. So now Billy Idol's doing it. And man, my biggest thing with this is the fact that, of course, Steve Stevens is going to be there, who is Billy Idol's longtime friend, guitarist, collaborator. They've been working together for like 45 years. And as we've mentioned here before, I'm a huge Steve Stevens fan, love his work. These shows are going to take place later towards the end of the summer, the end of August into the first few days of September. And tickets for that go on sale on March 20th at 10. And I don't even want to know how much those are going to be. I can guarantee they will not be Metallica prices. So we may be able to afford to go out to that with a flight, with a hotel. I don't think it'll be over by 10.
Probably not.
Maybe end up with tendonitis again.
Further down in the article, it mentions the documentary, the Billy Idol documentary. Billy Idol Should Be Dead. Have you had time to watch that at all?
I have not. I know because it's not out.
Is it not out?
No, it doesn't come out till the 26th of March.
26th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
this is that's definitely one I want to catch. This is directed by a 3-time Grammy winner, Jonas Åkerlund. And from what I hear, it's supposed to be pretty good. And if you're a
that's
fan of
what I've
Billy
heard.
Idol, anything's going to be good. But was it last year? I think it was last year. Was an Idol concert that I went to.
Yes,
And
last summer.
with Joan Jett. Joan Jett?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. For this guy, and we'll bring it up again for his age. Man, a great show. Tom Morrison, guitar player. So this was shortly after Ozzy's death. Tribute to Ozzy during the show. It was fantastic. But hearing Billy Idol, and just, you think Billy Idol, you think the 80s, you think the sexiness, that it's all about, the girls and all that. Yeah, Homeboy hasn't missed a beat. It was just stupid in the best way. And I walked out of there with a little bit more respect for Billy Idol because I just never really listened to him that much. But yeah, now it's one of those things. Since then, it's digging into those deep tracks. Oh man, yeah, I haven't heard that in ages, and blah blah blah. So it was
Well,
good.
what I like is that he is all in on doing this now because he had been kind of quiet for a long time.
Yeah,
and sometimes I think you want to cement your legacy. So maybe that's kind of what he's doing. We're getting a documentary. We have a new record
no,
last
but
year as well. Well, he collaborated with Avril Lavigne on a
right,
song that was pretty good.
yeah.
And he's touring and he's doing the documentary now, a Vegas thing.
Well, he's also currently once again nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right, right, deservedly so.
Deservedly so, I agree. And for the fan leaderboard, they take the top 7 from that fan vote, and he's currently sitting in 7th place. So he's got a good close to 20,000 vote lead over Wu-Tang Clan, but he's sitting in that 7th spot behind Sade, NXS, Luther Vandross, Pink, Phil Collins, and the new leader. I can't. New Edition.
Are you kidding me?
No, by over 50,000 votes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what's funny?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Iron Maiden sits in 12th. The Black Crowes at 15th. And Jeff Buckley pulling up the rear with 111,000 votes. Total votes cast so far, 5.5 million.
The Black Crowes, who have put out 2 records, one last year and one just this week, I think.
Yeah,
that have gotten rave reviews.
Absolutely.
Still putting out great music, and then New Edition, which I remember the name and the period. That's it.
Were they good? Absolutely. Are they worthy of a Hall of Fame? Yeah, probably because of what their contributions are to music.
Sure.
I'm not even going to step up on that soapbox again when it comes to the name rock and roll, because that's the part where I get frustrated when you have a band like New Edition. Again, just leading the freaking fan vote. We've learned last year that the fan vote, honest to goodness, really doesn't mean much of anything. Pahish, or as some people call them, Fish, number 1 fan voting last year, didn't even make it. And they're not even nominated this year. So,
well, it's an interesting barometer, though, the fan vote. To gauge where people are, and it makes you wonder, though, how these things happen. Are they organized?
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's some fan page somewhere that's organized this to really push them to the top.
We can go down the entire rabbit hole and say, okay, how many of these votes are bots?
Yeah. Right.
But I don't even want to think about that. Back to what we started with on this, the album that you mentioned that Billy Idol put out, I'm trying to remember. I know it's out now on Dark Horse Records. Album reached number 7 on the top albums chart and number 4 on the current rock albums chart, 9 in the UK and number 2 in Germany. Of course, it does mention that, of course, Steve Stevens, plus appearances by Avril Lavigne, Joan Jett, Alison Mosshart of The Kills, and is produced by Tommy English, who has also done Blink 182 and Casey Musgraves, among others. I bet all of those shows, all 5 of those, sell out. That's going to be a good one. And I once again, like we said with Metallica, I hope they record it, because that would be something worth watching.
Well, and back to last night, they were pro-shotting that concert, and I bet they are for the whole tour. I bet they're pro-shotting the whole thing for a DVD release. And I would love the Metallica to do that. With you sent me real quick. You sent me the Sphere YouTube video with the Eagles performance last week. I watched just a little bit of it, but oh my,
holy crap!
Not even being there, just the visual, I could tell what an experience that was. That was really cool.
Very much so. In other news, another band who we don't hear a lot from anymore, but we're getting ready to, because they're getting ready to go back on tour again as an opener for Motley Crue on the upcoming Carnival of Sins reunion, Do It All Again Under the Big Top tour. Tesla will be releasing a new album called Homage later this year, of course, via Frontier Music, and a new Tesla song entitled Never Alone will also be made available. This news of Tesla's upcoming LP was revealed by Frank Hannon when he did an interview with Appetite for Distortion podcast. Our friends at Blabbermouth, of course, decided to transcribe that interview, and Frank said that we've got a new album called Homage that's coming out that showcases Tesla's lead singer, of course, Jeff Keith, and his singing of some soul and R&B songs, and which is very interesting if you know and you're familiar with Jeff Keith's singing voice and the sound of Tesla. And that's when he, of course, said that Tesla is also going to have a song coming out that's going to be called Never Alone. I'm kind of stoked to hear that. R&B kind of, soul. It could definitely be done because Jeff has that tone, I guess.
Right. It also says here that they are recording a version of Supertramp's "Give a Little Bit."
Right.
Which I like that one. That's a good song.
That will probably be pretty good.
Yeah, it fits them. It fits
for sure.
There's not much else about exactly what they're putting on here, except that something called "I Love You" by the Climax
Blues Band. Yeah,
I see that. This will be interesting to hear what this is going to be. At their stage of their career, they can take a little risk. It's not a big deal to them.
No.
So it's cool to have some fun like this.
Well, and if a world-renowned guitarist can come out and sing an album dedicated to Frank Sinatra, I don't have a problem with Tesla coming out and doing, R&B and soul and doing some Temptation songs. So it'll be interesting. I hope it's good. I hope it's just something different that you pop in
Marvin
on.
Gaye.
Sure, whatever works. Yeah. We mentioned this a little bit earlier when we were talking about the upcoming news for tonight's episode, and we brought up the band Cactus.
Yeah, I saw this today. Earlier.
Cactus is a band that was formed in 1969. Of course, it was by Carmen Apice. Everybody knows who Carmen is. And there's been, over the course of, we're talking 60 years-ish, plus or minus a year or two, there have been numerous members of this band. Carmen Apice started it in 69, along with Tim Bogert, who was his bassist. Jim McCarty and singer Rusty Day. What a great name for a vocalist. Anyway, this band went and went and went. Carmen Apiece left in 72, I think it was. The band just disbanded. 72, didn't come back till 76, and then they went 3 whole years. But it wasn't with Carmen. It was a whole new lineup. And then they disbanded again. And then in 2006, until now, they've been doing things off and on. Of that off and on stuff, they've released, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 albums.
Wow.
With the latest album being in 2024. It was called Temple of the Blues, Influences and Friends. 2024. Okay. Remember that their first album was 1970. So a lot of years that they've been putting out albums. They've done singles. The last single that they actually had was Bringing Me Down in 1972. But they have also done some compilation albums. The last of which, was in 2013. However, that changes here soon as Cactus has basically announced that, they're doing another Temple of Blues 2 album.
It was so much fun the first time.
Why not do it again?
Do it again.
They've already released a couple songs from it. The most important one, I think, is going to be the most important, is the album's second track, which is called The Little Red Rooster, which you can go to YouTube and type in Cactus, The Little Red Rooster, and watch and or listen to. This song features Dee Snider from Twisted Sister
all the time now
on lead vocals, who's retired. He has nothing better to do, as well as Tracii Guns on guitar. Of course, Tracii Guns, the famous guitar player from LA Guns. I've already listened to it. I listened to it right before this show because, I was going to wait. And I was like, no, I got to listen to it. It's Dee Snider. Yeah. I personally don't think he does anything wrong. If you're expecting to have blazing guitars and just some, ferocious solos because it's Tracii Guns, don't listen to it because that's not what you're going to get. It is the video is Western themed. The song is not heavy. There's harmonica. There's a slide, on the guitar. It's not a slide guitar. It's a Tracii Guns regular guitar he's using, slinging his axe. It's interesting. I can't say it's bad. I'm not going to say it's the best thing I've heard, but it's interesting. Because of that, I went down that proverbial rabbit hole and listened to some other singles that were available. One of them was Purple Haze, which is what Cactus does with Melanie, who I think was on their first big stage, I think back in 1970. I don't remember. It was either in Ireland or somewhere in Europe is all I know. And then they also had Backdoor Man, which features, of course, Carmen Apiece and Billy Sheehan and nice. Eric Gales on drums. But Billy Sheehan, you can pick out a Billy Sheehan song, I think, almost every time because he has such a unique sound. But it's not bad. So I'm kind of looking forward to the rest of this. There's a lot of other people that are going to be involved in this album, including Pat Travers, Ted Nugent, who was on, I think he was on the first one, Joe Lynn Turner. There's a lot of stuff that it's going to be interesting.
Rudy Sarzo.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Bob Daisley.
Yeah.
Bass player as well, and lyricist for Ozzy Osbourne.
Bumblefoot.
So, yeah, there's some cool stuff, or at least some cool guests anyway.
Yeah, the Temple of the Blues 2 will feature 10 tracks unless you get the CD. Then you're going to get 11. The 11th track on the CD only is Feel So Good. and that will also feature Billy Sheehan. The song Spoonful is the one that features Ted Nugent. Of course, like we already mentioned, Little Red Rooster with D. Snider, Tracii Guns. So you get a chance, check that out. That is the band Cactus. You'll surely get some stuff from the 70s, but this newer stuff you may appreciate just a little bit more. As we move into our last couple of stories, I'm sure this will make the Viper happy. No, it is not Skid Row. No, it is not Sebastian Bach. But keeping themselves in the news because they have retired for the 72nd time from touring, but yet will remain a headline, is Kiss. There's new stuff coming from Kiss. With our last 4 minutes, we'll talk about a couple things. One of those is a cartoon.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a kid's cartoon? Saturday morning type?
So Kiss still has 2 film projects in the works. Of course, the biopic that's going. Gene Simmons says the scripting is being refined, casting it's on its way. Once the documentary is finished, they don't have a release date or anything like that. But then he goes on to say there's a cartoon show in the works with Warner Brothers.
I can't imagine.
Would I let my children watch it? Absolutely. Can I see Gene Simmons makeup on anything other than Scooby-Doo? No, I cannot.
Are they in a park with a phantom?
I let's hope not, because they did not know what they were doing.
No, that was terrible.
Rock and Roll All Night, of course, that was Scooby-Doo and Kiss, the rock and roll mystery that was released back in 2015. But don't worry, Kiss is coming back with another cartoon. Also, if you didn't get a chance to go to the Vegas Kiss cruise, landlocked, don't worry, because Gene Simmons says it was a lot of fun, and they're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So, of course, no information. They're just going to do it again. Of course, they're going to do it again. It made
Not
money.
touring.
No,
Not touring.
No. This is going to be the Vegas thing all over again. Kudos to them. I don't know. It's Kiss. They're still in the news. They're going to be. They're not going anywhere, which is good.
No.
Because remember, there's also the Avatar show.
Right. That's meant to keep their legacy going, right? The Avatar show.
And this is one of those things. Paul Stanley just came out yesterday with some stuff that he said about it. He says, this is as real as I am, and I think it's going to just blow people away. There is a quote that I have to read, and I hope we don't run out of time. Here we go. According to Gene Simmons, of course, who else? The Kiss Avatar show will attack the senses as well. If you see your tendinitis, if you see a dragon coming in to scoop you up and it breathes fire, there will be fire all around you and you'll feel the heat, the fire, the brimstone, the coffee. You'll be able to smell it. We attack the senses instead of virtual reality, which only attacks the eyes. Oh, but guess what? There's one more quote, and this has to be said. Gene Simmons also said, we're going to blow your socks off in a way multiple times more exciting than the Sphere. People who go to Vegas to see a show in the Sphere are awed by the massive scale of everything. There's nothing wrong with the Sphere, but I'll go out on a limb and make sure people understand that this, the Kiss Avatar show, is going to make that seem like popcorn fart. That's right. Popcorn fart. He says it'll be mind-blowing. What other way to end episode 174 than a quote from Gene Simmons about popcorn farts?
Don't forget to real quick, new music from Jeff Tate coming out Friday.
Yes, be sure to check that out. We'll probably throw a reminder out on our socials. But that's all we've got for this week. We appreciate it. We want you. I wish we could scratch and sniff this because I would. Never mind. There's no scratch and sniff in the popcorn fart. Join us next week for episode 175. We appreciate you guys listening. Be sure to hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. And if you're listening to this and not watching, be sure to leave us a review. Remember, only 4 stars or above, preferably 5. Thanks. We'll see you guys next week.